Welcome back, you disgusting, filthy children, to the finale of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. At the time of me making this, the holidays are coming up, and there's nothing I want more in the holiday season than some delicious, pure, common ghost beef. At least I think it's common. You think I actually care about the rarity of these? Also, if you're wondering why I didn't mention Jinzo last time, it's because he was negating my ability to do so, because that obviously qualifies as a trap card, dumbass. Well, last time on Yu-Gi-Oh! Ball Z, it was so nonsensical, why even describe it? Just go watch the video. I need the ad revenue. Seriously, I'm broke as a joke. Even the children in this show have better jobs than me. Because Yuga, to get the other Goha siblings' jobs back, became an employee of Goha Enterprises. This kid is making more yearly than anybody watching this video. Not just Yuga, who is the section chief of dual operations. The other children work for Goha too, because why not? Luke is head of the Luke division, Roman is a cook in the cafeteria, and Gavin is chief of security and safety. And Rain and Reno work with him too, of course. And despite this not being ideal, they all take their jobs very seriously. Like when Gavin has to deal with a disgruntled employee, Oceana. Yeah, she's back and doesn't want to work, so Gavin duels her, and while this episode is really funny,
Oh no! It looks like Oceania is totally freaking out!
Because she's going to lose her best monster!
No, that's not it at all! I just realized that I forgot that it was my best friend's birthday!
Oh no! You have to call him now!
Nah, it's fine. It was 2 months ago.
Send a belated birthday card?
The only card I'm sending your way is this trap card!
it's mainly just to show off that everyone does indeed have fusion cards now. And Oceana, after losing, just leaves. The next episode, a school trip is happening at Goha, but one of the kids has some ulterior motives. A girl named Nana, who's revealed to be Rain's distant cousin, cause if you forgot, or if I ever mentioned it, Rain and Reno are part of a ninja clan, cause of course they are, and Nana is part of a different family faction of that clan or something. They're more evil. But that's not why Yuga duels her, it's mainly cause Yuga has a fear of ladybugs, and that's her whole motif, and she's also kind of the reason he's afraid of them. So they duel, and we see Yuga even gets a new maximum card thanks to nonsense, I'm not going to explain it, and wins. But maybe not, as Nana does manage to steal some data about something from Yuga's computer for the person she's working for. We then check in on Mimi, who's not having the best time coming back to Goha, as she was transferred to the Experimental Energy Operations Gohanium Division. Basically, she's stuck in the basement with a bunch of nerds. Mimi, if anyone start talking about Lolicon, run. Later at lunch, she sees Roman and promises to have some of her curry, but the head chef knows Roman's curry is probably classified as a weapon in most countries, and Mimi says no. So they duel, because Roman really wants people to eat her curry, even by force. It's just to show off her new fusion monster. And it all works out at the end, because the dank scientists Mimi works with love Roman's curry, because of how it can be used as a weapon. Oh yeah, also during this episode, Mimi makes a brilliant deduction that Yuga has a U name, like the Goha siblings, because you know, they all start with U too. Thanks Mimi, I didn't notice that at all. How about we check in on someone getting some work done around here? Luke, who isn't doing anything, because, you know, he's in the Luke division. That is until Tracker returns and asks Luke's help, because he had a falling out with the Dino nerds. But he doesn't care about any of that and only uses Luke to access the basement of the building, where they find an old school card printer that still works, allowing them to make any card they want. So Tracker obviously wants to use this for money, and the newspaper kid Scoop duels him. Whatever. Scoop wins, but it doesn't matter, because the roof of the place collapses, because it's old, and the card maker is destroyed. But Luke finds something in the rubble, an employee ID badge, one that has the name Yuga Goha. Side note, I didn't like Luke much at the start of this show. I thought he came off as kind of a asshole, which they mistake for stupidity. But over the course of the show, he's gotten a lot funnier, mainly because they ditched the whole dick angle, and now he's more of a lovable idiot. Especially this episode, he made me laugh a lot.
It's my job to spot any troubles coming my way. Luke Operations is the leading department in doing Luke stuff.
What exactly is Luke stuff?
Doing Luke stuff is doing stuff that Luke does, and I do it better than anyone. Now that that's clear...
Luke informs the other children about the ID, and they're all confused because Yuga's last name is Odo, not Goha. Is he maybe hiding something from them? Well, now armed with this information, Luke decides to do the responsible thing, sucking up to Yuga thinking he's president to get special treatment. He even challenges him to a duel and is going to let him win, but Yuga realizes Luke's kind of throwing duelist soul or whatever, and Luke beats him again.
I activate Pot of Greed. It lets me draw 2 cards.
So the next one is another one of those comedic ones that seems to be nonsensical and doesn't matter, but it's actually super important. It begins with Gavin showing up to work, seeing it's been overtaken by zombies. He duels one, but sees it was just an office-wide party thing that they never told him about.
No one told me about this.
I know,
Huh?
because we all thought it'd be fun to give you a good scare. Well, it wasn't fun!
Next episode, Roman, Gavin, Mimi, and Roa all gather to talk about Yuga possibly being a Goha, realizing they actually don't know much about him. not even where he lives, they always just go to his lab. So they decide to go to his house and run into Asana, who thinks them not trusting in Yuga and going to his house uninvited is spying. To spy is wrong, so she duels Roa to stop them. Roa wins, and they follow Yuga, but see it's a trick by Nana, who disguised herself as Roman to sow doubt. Because now they betrayed Yuga's trust by trying to spy on him, and that guilt will weigh at them or something. I don't really see how this matters. I mean, I guess they are the main characters, so they overvalue friendship more than life itself. Not on par with Vector's plan, but I can see the vision. So where is Yuga? Well, he's with Luke and Swirls, because remember I said the zombie episode weirdly mattered? Well, for some reason, Swirls is still zombified, and they learn from Toombs that there is a rumor about a card that can woman people.
You think Swirls has been brainwashed?
Doesn't matter what season, what series, what tone, what production company. In Yu-Gi-Oh, there will always be a card or ability that will woman you forever. Womans are eternal. Then when Luke orders ramen from the ramen shop, we see Nail is working for them as a delivery boy. And he and Yuga determine that if a card like that does exist, only someone bad could make it. So Yuga thinks it must have been Nana. So they head to the village hidden in the insects, but surprisingly they find waiting for them Tiger, who does not explain why she's here, only that they're digging too deep and need to leave, or else. Yuga won't abandon Swirls and duels her, and surprisingly, despite Tiger being a woman and he's the protag and he did beat her once, Yuga loses. Okay, what the hell, Yuga? You've lost 2 in a row to 2 siblings. One's the best friend character, the other a woman. Dude, the other Yu-Gi-Oh protagonists are gonna make fun of you at the reunion. Step it up. Well, despite that, the 2 won't give up and look for Nana, but after spending all day, they got nothing. And to relax after, they head to Yuga's house, and Luke meets his mom. Wow, Yu-Gi-Oh MILF designs have really gone downhill since Yoko. But this does confirm that Yuga is indeed not a Goha. But what about that badge they found? Why does it have his name on it? Well, we might get answers when Yuo calls in Yuga and the other children, who apologize for not trusting him earlier, to discuss something very important. Yuo's called them in because he's decided, look, they realize they can't beat Yuga, so instead he wants to merge Rush duels with Goha duels. You know, instead of trying to beat each other, just cooperate in that Goha will now control everything about Rush duels. But Yuga has other ideas because he didn't join Goha just cause. He's been working on something in the background and decides to upload it now. That by having access to Goha's inner workings, he made a dual creatinator, he actually calls it that.
Because I built a dual creatinator.
Dual creatinator? What's a dual creatinator?
Wow, Doofenshmirtz should sue. It's like a Mario Maker for card game formats. Now any loser can make one, just like he did. Ah, that's how Konami made Genesis format. Yuo does not like this, so he fires Yuga, but before he leaves, he asks the help of the other Gohas and everyone else to help Swirls. They need to find this card Nana used to make him like this and save him. And that's when they all see Luke's made-up card he created with the card printer. And despite him telling them it got destroyed, the children and Gohas head down there and see that the card maker is fine. Looks like someone repaired it. And looking at the history of the machine, they see the last card that was made with it was Monster Reborn. Whoa, with the original art too. I guess Konami doesn't care about religious symbols in children's card games anymore. It's not very woke of them. Now Monster Reborn, it's a good card, but what does it have to do with Swirls? Well, maybe a lot, because seeing this card causes him to freak out, and the Goha helmet shoots out a black duel disc that Swirls wants to use to duel. Yuga's gonna take it on, but remember, he lost 2 in a row, he's not feeling the flow right now. And that's when Yuo remembers something, that he's used this card before, so he decides to duel Swirls to find out why he has this memory. And when Yuo uses the card again, nothing happens. But as the duel goes on, the other Gohas start remembering something too. They've seen Yuo and Swirls duel before, and suddenly Yuo remembers an ancient chant that truly unlocks the power of Monster Reborn. But why does he know this, and why did he use it? That's when Swirls starts acting weirder. Some would say, evil. And well, if you haven't figured it out yet, we see the true identity of Swirls, the man behind the scales.
Swirls is no more. I'm finally free. Free to resume my reign of terror. My name is Yuga Goha.
Yep, Swirls was Yuga Goha all along, a woman version, which they actually foreshadowed pretty well.
I know who the missing 6th Goha president is. The 6th one? Is Swirls here! Swirl, 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 swirl! Why does this badge belong to him? Or not?
So why is he a Swirls? Well, he was the best of the Gohas. The one problem, he admired Zark too much. Wanting to crush his opponents so hard, he made Monster Reborn to make them lose so hard that they lose their memories. I don't know why specifically he wanted to do that, but you do you, Goha. Which is why I'm going to call him to distinguish him from our protagonist, Yuga. I told you the unions would get even more confusing, now we have 2 of them with the same name. The Gohas tried to stop him, but he's too much of a sweaty card game player, so yugioh decided the only way was to use the card he made and seal Goha's memories away, but it was too strong and also affected them, which is why no one remembered him. Also, for some reason, Tiger knew something like this would happen, which is why she dueled them earlier. Sure. So, of course, being back, Goha beats yugioh using Monster Reborn, wiping yugioh's memories, reverting him to a child. Well, a younger child. And he leaves now with Monster Reborn and regroups with the Insect Ninjas. He's going to, he doesn't really have like a grand plan or goal or anything. He just kind of wants to go around causing chaos and stuff. That's kind of the deal right now. So now Goha is going around fucking with people who are making their own new dueling formats, making them compete to see whose is better and erasing others' memories for the lulz. And this gets everyone involved, the children of the Goha siblings who are also dealing with a baby yugioh. Even Nail, Roa, and Asana are trying to help. But eventually it's Yuga who does something by sending a message to Goha that he has Swirls' account data, and if it gets deleted, so does Goha's account. And if that happens, he can't duel and cause havoc anymore. I don't know why that matters. He's the president of Goha. I don't see why he can't just make another account for himself, but whatever, they duel for it. And despite Yuga borrowing Mirror Force from Varus, I thought Rush Duels were supposed to fix Yu-Gi-Oh! And make them more accessible to new players, so why do they keep putting in broken cards that were banned at one point, like Monster Reborn and Mirror Force? I thought we were trying to, do some course correction here by not putting cards that were banned. Despite cards banned in another format, Yuga is still injured from his duel with Taiga from 3 episodes ago, so after an attack, he can't continue the duel. But all his friends show up to support him, including Luke, who decides to step in and take over the duel in Yuga's place. But that may not be a good thing, because Goha does use Monster Reborn and wipes Luke's memories. Just kidding. To the other's shock, Luke is fine. His memories didn't go anywhere. Maybe it's because he's an idiot or because of his love of Rush Duels, but either way, he's not affected. And with this, he combos the fuck off using Yuga's deck and is able to beat Goha, and even does Yuga's speech, which I thought was fun.
A wall! A mountain! Not even a planet can block my way! Nothing will stop my highway to victory!
And he wins, and Goha just flies off after that. Luke tries to appeal to him by calling him Swirls, but no luck. There is also another problem. While Luke was unaffected by Monster Reborn, everyone who was there, besides Yuga, who was knocked out, did get affected. So now Gavin, Roman, Roa, Asana, and Nail have all lost their memories. The next episode is the last clip show of Mimi trying to help the Goha siblings figure out what to do next to stop Goha, which they figure out by watching a bunch of flashbacks. Now we do learn a couple things from the clip show episode though, that the Goha siblings were actually selected to become presidents from a computer on the moon. But Goha wasn't always an asshole, he was just incredibly influenced, and one day saw an adult underground duel, probably the one Zane was in, and went crazy from that awful voice, and became evil. That's the explanation. That's why he's evil. He saw a bad duel and was like, dang, that's hard. I want to be hard like that. We also see that, I guess, Tiger tried to stop Luke and Yuga, because she actually dueled Goha as a younger kid, as we see in 2 seconds of the flashback. Sure. And this has nothing to do with the plot, but at the end of this episode, there's a live action segment of, I think, a Japanese comedian showing the top 3 quotes of the show. This was jarring, man. I don't know if this is in the original Japanese version or something, if this is a normal thing, but it definitely threw me for a loop. I was not mentally prepared for this.
Yo, gold! Yoi, otashi ga papi.
The next day, Yuga and Luke are trying to brainstorm a way to get Gavin, Roman, and the rest to get their memories back. Not just them, Rain, Reno, Seat Bastion, and the other Heavy Cavalry Duel Club members all want their friends back. Luke's plan is to embrace the dark side and get a Monster Reborn of their own, so they all head to the card printer to make one, but are intercepted by Goha, who's broadcasting to them from the site of the relic, where he's there to duel Otis. Because Otis wants to bring joy too, and he hates that, even though he tried to delete Rush Duels at one point, and also his motivations are very unclear. What is Otis? That's not a real question, don't answer that. That was rhetorical. So feeling like no other option, the group of friends go to the card printer to make more Monster Reborns, but Nana's Insect Ninjas are streets ahead, and destroyed it, and any other copies of Monster Reborn. But Yuga's not faded, saying they will find another way to help, and Luke again proposes that they use Rush Duels. Maybe that will jog their memory, since it worked for him. First is Gavin, which kinda funnily ends up with them to jog his memory, recreate the first episode of the show with the others playing different characters. I kinda love it. Again, man, this show is just fun. How do you not smile watching this? But what happens is Gavin is so far gone, he wants to get rid of Rush Duels for good, and wanting their friend back, Reno, with Rain's help, duels Gavin. And they all see that through dueling, his memories do start to come back, especially when they even remind him of his more embarrassing moments.
Instead, I am bring to the
he's starting to remember. I'll help too. I'm MC Rings. And we're RSJ.
Seeing this is the way, the Too Long Name Club and Sebastian go to duel Asana and Nail respectively to help them too. And it all works, the three get their memories back. Well, that was easy. And now knowing this, there's only two more people to help, Roman and Roa. But no time for that, cause bad news, the Rush Duel server is in trouble. Again, it's all thanks to yugioh going around goading people, telling them to compete, so more and more types of duels are being uploaded to the server at too fast a pace, and it's starting to overload it. It also turns out the person who was managing all the duels, making sure that the server didn't get overloaded, was Otis, but now he's MIA, thanks to yugioh. He's not too happy about it, cause he just wanted to go around causing chaos and do evil stuff, not get rid of duels, cause that means even he can't duel, and then continue to sow chaos. The children are not aware of this right now, and instead go to Roa to help him regain his memories, as the band is starting to slowly fall apart, especially because Roman has even forgotten that she's a part of it, and has started performing solo on the streets. So to help him, Yuga duels Roa, but it's slowly revealed that Roa actually remembers everything. Like Luke, Monster Reborn had no effect on him. Apparently the reason that the kids speculate is Luke and Roa weren't affected because they actually liked dueling before Yuga forced rush duels on everyone, while most of the other people didn't really get into it until after rush duels, and Monster Reborn only makes you forget your memories after rush dueling. So Luke and Roa weren't affected because they're sweaty card game players way before the show even started. The reason he was faking it was for Roman, because after going solo, her idol Princess G found her and took her under her wing, making her a star. So he decided to act like this to not hold her back anymore and let her have her own career. Cool. Well, this duel means nothing because Roa has his memories and beats Yuga. But now everyone, especially Luke, is a bit more apprehensive about getting Roman's memories back, because she's living her dream, hanging out with Princess G, being mentored by her, and becoming a singer, and no one wants to ruin that. So Luke goes around using Roman's dueling guitar that she got rid of, and duels the tertiary jobbers like Scoop and Yash, and manages to get their memories back, and finds his answer. That Roman loves Rush dueling too, and at her debut concert, everyone shows up, and seeing her friends support her is what brings her memories back, no duel required. But a twist! When Roman says she wants to rush duel again, Princess G challenges her to a duel, saying Roman can't do both, she has to choose. This is all a ruse, because after G found Roman and hearing she gave up rush duels, this has all been a way to help her realize that she wants to rush duel and perform. And she'll do both like a boss, beating Princess G. Lets Roman live both her dreams, promising to have a jam sesh sometime. Man, I really never cared about Roman this whole thing. Like, who gives a shit about any of this? It wasn't even funny. And before you people start, yes, I know Princess G is an adult woman in this show, and you might be shocked that I haven't made any gooner remarks at her yet. And look, yeah, the rocker chick thing, it's cool. It's not really my bag. I'm not gonna sit here fapping to it. I'm more into the MILFs, if you haven't noticed. That and armpit. After all that, the children go to meet with Mimi and the Gohas, who have been doing their own investigation. That somehow aggressive Yugioh realized that he's seen the Seven's Road book that Mimi and Swirls found before, and they all come up with a plan. Because if you remember, pages from the book were missing. So the Gohas go around finding other copies of the book around the world to restore it and find out the real truth. And they see the tale is actually about a master warrior who mentors a young one, only to betray him and reveal that he was the bad guy all along and planned everything from the start. And you can already see where this is going. Yugioh has been going through it, mainly thanks to the thoughts of friendship because of Luke, and ends up getting captured by Otis. But what I like and think is even funnier than that is that the Lenas we've been seeing throughout the show have not only been employed by Otis, but are all actually separate people this whole time. That's amazing. This is definitely the best characters in the show. And yeah, it's revealed that everything was Otis's plan all along from the very beginning. What, do I really have to explain it to you? It's so obvious. Step 1, help Yuga make and maintain rush duels. Step 2, Step 3, destroy all of dueling once and for all. It's so simple and easy to understand, guys. How are you not following along with this? Yeah, okay, if you can tell by that subtle sarcasm, Otis's motives will never make sense. He's just the main baddie now that planned this all from the start, a trope we know I love. I mean, I guess unlike the other shows, they don't even try to explain or justify it. He's just kind of the main baddie now and everyone just accepts that he planned it all from the start. I don't know if that's better or worse. And the reason Otis was not affected by Monster Reborn is because he was also the one who made it, of course. If you want to know the answer to anything in the show, Otis. So go back and watch all the other videos whenever I'm like, what's the point of explaining this? There's no reason here. Otis. And I guess his real plan, I think, was to get yugioh to sow chaos and cause the dueling server to be overloaded so that it'd blow up and end duels forever. So the children have to come up with a plan, and that is to shut down all the drones on the moon, deleting dueling. That seems impossible to do on such a massive scale. But Nail knows what they can use, Luke's Pally Effect power. If they can somehow magnify it and reach the moon, then maybe it can shut down all the drones. Luke tries to do this, but of course it doesn't work. But doing it did cause a reaction similar to that effect from underneath their school. So Asana and that club help dig up under the school, and they find a vault owned by Callister Gears, but it's locked. That's when Tiger and Granddad show up, saying there has been a tunnel that leads here from their house for years. Luke just didn't know about it because he's Luke. So Tiger happily opens it for them with the key. Did I mention I like Tiger? Inside are more watches. Not just any watches, broken ones, similar to the one Luke wears. Which means, yep, this watch, which he thought was a loving gift from his granddad, is some shitty old defect he gave to him when he needed a gift at the last second. And for some reason, everyone is confused as to why they got that signal here. Have we not already established multiple times that it's not Luke with this power, it's the watch? I thought we did, but I guess not. Then suddenly, Tiger just tells Luke to give up because the only reason he wants to save dueling is because it's the only thing he's good at, and wants to use it as an excuse to not take over Callister Gears. Even blaming yugioh for making Luke act like this because of rush duels. This makes Luke actually stand up to his sister and challenge her to a duel. Obviously she loses, she already lost to him once, although I guess it was technically the Luke man. And of course this was a ruse, as Tiger finally treats Luke with some respect, as this was a test to see how serious he was, as of course, she's a loving sister that was worried about her brother. Daw. Also at the end of the duel, the watches go off, and everyone figures out, again, that it was the watches, not Luke. Well, not really. Because the reason why Luke has been the only one able to use this power is that the watches made by Callister Gears contain gohanium, a made-up substance that for some reason when a Callister comes in contact with it, causes that pally effect. And all the watches going off was enough to affect Goha's server, and it did shut down the drones, but Nail says that they will come back online and this is only a temporary solution. But to truly stop it, they'd have to get to the moon and shut them all down manually. How are a bunch of kids gonna do that? Well, you ever seen Codename Kids Next Door? Well, if you haven't, go watch it and come back, because we're about to start the final 3 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, as we begin the finale. Yep, it's wrapping up already. Because Asana shows that they can get to the moon, because her family once made a spaceship. Okay, and while it's old and rusted, of course with all the smartasses like Yuga and Nail working on it, they can get it into working condition. Also, meanwhile, the other Gohas rescue Yugoha from Otis's lair, saying despite him being a dick, they won't abandon their brother. And so with everyone's help, all the losers we met through the show using their own skills are able to successfully rebuild the ship. But one problem, all the 2x4 technology can't power a rocket, you need rocket fuel for that. Luckily they have something better, Roman. The only thing more powerful than rocket fuel is her curry, which they use as fuel, as they prepare to launch into space. Also love that Yuga's mom is totally okay with her son launching a rocket built by children, powered by curry, to fly to the moon to play a children's card game. I mean, maybe she wouldn't be so supportive if she knew what happened to the last kid that dueled on the moon. Well, the plan isn't to duel, it's just to get there so Yuga can shut down all the drones permanently by hand. So the day of the launch comes, and to help pilot it, it's Yuga, Luke, Roman, and Gavin, of course, but also his rivals, Nail, Asana, and Roa, as they go into space pretty easily. But upon getting there, they are intercepted by Otis in an Otis Megazord to stop them. And being in a spaceship, they can't fight back, but luckily the Goha siblings gave Yuga something before he left. The controls to the Forcercisors on the Rush Duel robot, which are still attached, and after docking it with the ship, the others are all able to control it like a Megazord, like each one gets to control a limb, while Yuga operates a duel disc, as he and Otis will duel using giant robots. Neat. And being the final duel, Yuga uses all the ace monsters of his friends and rivals that are with him, but too bad Otis plays dirty and begins hurling space debris at the kids to destroy the robot. Well, luckily this is being broadcast to the world, and people don't want all of dueling to stop, so by uninstalling their rush duels, it's ejecting them from the server, launching at Otis. Then again, they try to give Otis some kind of motive, where he says he's trying to destroy duels because dueling became so broken and disgusting thanks to link monsters and pendulums, and it shouldn't exist in the first place, or some such bullshit.
Because the current state of dueling is already broken. Instead of wasting time fixing what can't be fixed, it's better to destroy it completely and rebuild it from scratch.
Now, if this were a smarter show, I'd say this was some pretty good meta commentary on the state of Yu-Gi-Oh! And how Yu-Gi boomers specifically like to view the card game today, viewing it as a broken, disgusting mess. But I don't think the show is that smart, and our hero Yuga isn't for that. He's mainly also trying to get rid of old duels by trying a new way of dueling to replace it with rush duels. So didn't Otis kind of already win when he helped Yuga do that? He got rid of master duels, they're dead. What's the plan here? I don't even think the writers knew what this character wanted to do by the time they got here. They just decided to make him a villain and were like, should we explain it? No. And just when it seems like Otis is about to win, it's 6 o'clock, the Lena's quitting time, and Otis does not have money to pay overtime. Again, the best characters. But Otis swears it wasn't 6 o'clock yet, and C that a ladybug messed with the clock. Even Nana is trying to help Yuga to save duels. How did that ladybug get to space? Maybe Yuga's right to be afraid of them. So with Otis's robot with no pilots, it's drifting around the moon, and the duel is paused until he comes back. So Yuga takes this chance to leave his friends stranded in space on the Goha spaceship. Hey, wait, yeah, the Gohas had a spaceship too, a much more advanced one. I mean, it was ruined by Roman's curry, but I feel like remaking that would have been easier. Yuga's doing this because the robot is falling apart, so to keep them safe, he wants to finish the duel himself. Of course they want to be by his side because friendship, especially Luke, who jumps toward Yuga like an idiot floating into space with no control until a hero arrives. The Luke Man, the Luke Man, the Luke Man returns, helping Luke reach the robot. And we begin the real final duel of the show, as Luke and Yuga decide to settle this in a rush duel. If he wins, they fight Otis together, but if Yuga wins, he goes back with the others. Leading into the final episode, episode 92 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, where Luke and Yuga duel, not for long, mainly because they're actually doing it in paper, since Yuga is still technically in a duel with Otis. Luke actually makes a smart deduction that he must not have Seven's Road Magician, so he can't win, because he's busy using it in Otis's duel. But to his shock, Yuga does have it. Not the original copy, but one he made using his own account ID card. And for the first time in the whole show, Yuga, well, anyone, really, actually beats Luke in a duel, if you don't count when he was a Luke Man. So Yuga sends Luke back while he finishes the duel with Otis. And it seems like Yuga turns the duel around and is about to win, but Otis knows he has no ID card, and cause space, or whatever, they will soon be in transmission range of Earth. And when Goha servers detect he's dueling without an ID, he will lose by default. So Yuga does a Chaozu, in a way, clinging to Otis's robot and jetting off at the speed of light, taking him so far away that they won't be in transmission range. Cool, Yuga, but you could have just, like, moved a couple feet back or something. You just needed to stay out of range for one final attack. Which Yuga does do, beating Otis, saving dueling for everyone, while they hurl towards the far edges of space. And despite the others making it, Yuga disappears with the rest, only hoping that he will make it back to Earth someday. Anyway, 2 years have passed, and we get the epilogue, seeing how everyone turned out. The Goha siblings have patched it up and are working together, with Mimi as the vice president of Goha. It also seems everyone's enjoying regular master duels again, because if you remember, Yuga left on the Rush Duel robot, so Rush Duels were just gone. And we also see that all the main characters like Gavin, Roman, Asana, and Roa are in middle school now, living their lives. But Luke has been pretty emo for all these years, always looking up waiting for Yuga to come back, mostly because he's salty that he lost the last time they met. That's when Roman arrives with some news, because up in the sky is a falling star, but not just any falling star, it's a ship, and inside is Yuga. He has returned after 2 years, and his mom is pretty chill about it. Either way, children, the series ends with everyone's duel discs turning back into the 7s, and Rush Duels returning, as the children go to meet Yuga, and everyone says the catchphrase. And that's Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. It just kinda ends, doesn't it? And I feel like that's fair for the show, because it is just kinda there, isn't it? Like, I mean, what can you say about this show? I really think it comes down to the fact that you're gonna like this show if you think it's funny. And yeah, personally, I did enjoy it. I thought this was a fun time. Is it a Yu-Gi-Oh! Show? I don't know, that's kinda hard to say. I mean, it still had a lot of the same elements, like children's card games, friendship, a villain that makes no sense. But you know what? Overall, at the end of the day, I enjoyed myself. Look, I just like episodic comedies. I don't know, it's my thing. It's one of the reasons why I liked Pokemon Sun and Moon that season so much. I mean, you can just turn on any episode and have fun, and that's the kind of show I like. I mean, well, Pokemon Sun and Moon actually had depth to their characters, but that's besides the point. Either way, I liked Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. I like the jokes, the characters. The duels were hit or miss, but later on they got kinda better. Yeah, there was barely any story, and I guess that's a negative to some, but I do treat this as a comedy, so it's fine. If I had to put it anywhere on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tier list, I'd honestly put it over GX. Because if you remember, it's the part of GX I like the most, where it's just a lot of episodic duels and nonsense. I also think that it's good that it didn't overstay its welcome. I think 92 episodes was still a little bit too long for the show. It didn't really need it. But at least it wasn't over 100 or something. Like, it just overstayed its welcome. And it's like, okay, can we get on with it, before it stops being funny? Can't say that about the next show. Or should I say, the last show. That's right, Duelists, we finally made it, as we'll be taking a look at the final show for this retrospective and the most recent anime series to be aired based on our favorite children's card game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. We've seen it all so far, right? Time travel, space travel, dimensional travel. Well, why not combine them all? As we will go far beyond the reaches of space, time, and even other dimensions, solve space wars, learn the secrets of the past, and even the direction of the future. While also doing something a bunch of you have been complaining about for way too long that I sadly have to give you. Fucking sucks. Join me next time for the last time, my fellow duelists, for Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, the finale of this Yu-Gi Trospective. See you then, and remember, UTS. The real ones know what I'm talking about.
Ever look up at the sky? There are billions of galaxies in the universe, and each of them's filled with billions of planets, and billions of aliens! No one believes that aliens are real. But I know for a fact that they are. I just need to prove it.